Little Gio was our seventh little orphan to arrive at about 5 to 6 weeks of age, apparently trapped in a snare. And you can see he has these little marks or abrasions all over his little body. But he seems to be in fairly good nick. It's not doesn't seem to be damaged anyway. Just wanting to find his mom.
Injury, but very, very thin in the hips. But not as thin as Oswald was.
Nothing quite like closing your eyes and sleeping and just dreaming you're back in mom's arms and everything's normal and there's nothing to worry about. You can see how quickly little Gio is progressing. Already some darkening of the fur, very inquisitive, and he's finding his way around very, very well. So progressing very fast. Just have a look at the difference here from when he arrived. Most of those little abrasions are gone. He's very, very confident with himself. He's getting his little black furry tinge and all ready to go out to explore one of the big enclosures and find himself a mom. And then of course out in the big bad world, just have a look at the little face, how it's blackening already and getting very dark now that he's outside and maturing. But doing very, very well. And there's little Gio coming in from his small little trap in a snare and out with his foster mom. Well, now and again we get one of those cases where a little one was bought from people on the side of the road while they were on holiday. And Terri is such a case, so we're not really sure what happened to her or why or what happened to her mother, but she was bought by somebody while on holiday and she was about 2 to 3 weeks old, and we went out to fetch her and bringing her all the way back to the foundation. Terri initially seemed to be suffering from pneumonia. It could quite possibly be because of the wrong age or the young age and the way people were feeding her, and of course they sometimes breathe in the milk causing pneumonia, so we had to put her on a nebulizer and try to get things sorted out for her. And of course little Terri was our 8th orphan to arrive. You can see the difference from when she arrived to now. She seems to be one of those getting a little bit of everything, and this is due to ringworm. So she's getting some cream for ringworm, very settled in and loving it, as you can see. So I think she's really enjoying all the attention.
Because she's such a small baby and she is away from her mum, so we want to make sure that she has cuddle time and knows she is loved.
Terri with her Jensen's violet marking, so we're able to tell who she is when she's out in the enclosure. You can already see here how she's matured, and again notice the face. You'll start seeing the blackening of the face as they slowly get older and older. The face turns more black and does sometimes have distinguishing features. As you can see around her eyes are a lot more pink, and sometimes those areas stay like that, so that's how we make marks to identify them. But just look at the difference between that little one to what Terri is now. Yes, she was with foster mom Missy and doing very, very well.
So the little boy was found alone in a nature reserve. We don't really know more than that, but it's been handed in to us. And thank you for the people who found them and looked after them for a day or two before they could actually get them here halfway, so that Dave could go and fetch them.
Little Edson, basically the 9th little orphan to arrive. Edson is between 4 or 5 weeks of age, so still very young, but he's very confident. Just look at that tiny little face, what he looks like when he comes in, and then you can just compare him a little bit as he gets older and older, and how quickly they actually grow and they change.
We have here Edson. He's just moved on to the Pedag bottle, and we're hand feeding him in the feeding cage, so he starts associating it with his milk. He's gotten really good at suckling, considering it's only been about a day, but he's been using it. So the next step is to get him going in there independently and drinking from the bottle holders.
Well, just look how quickly he's matured, black-faced already. His coat's come on very nicely, very, very confident little male. At this stage, his canines would have started to grow a little bit, so he can bite quite badly. And of course, this is the age where they start causing most trouble after people have got them as pets and thought they make good pets, and they start biting and putting authority on different people, and that's where all the problems start. These guys don't make good pets. They mature very, very quickly, and once they're older, they can be a big, big problem. Cosimo, the 10th little orphan to arrive, around about 3 weeks old, was found alone in an area where he is known for shooting, so we're just going to assume mother was shot. In most of these cases, they don't have the heart to shoot the little one. So still the early stages in the rehabilitation program, still calling for its mom, but it is getting used to the different foods and the milk and of course the feeding cage, which is an important part. Still looks as cute as ever while it's still this age, but as I say, they grow up very, very fast and very, very quickly, and this changes from a cute little baby to a naughty little juvenile, to an unhandleable male or female that just doesn't tolerate guests and things like this, and locking these guys up in a cage is not the best idea. Yeah, with Polo in the Gizmo troop, you can see the faceling black already. They're outside with foster mom, playing around and giving everybody a hard time. Now, they can take their own bites, but if they're going to start biting and dominating people in the family, that's not so pleasant. But just have a look how quickly this little one's matured. From what he looked like when he came in to the actual size of them now is quite amazing. Cosimo with one of his foster moms, Felicia. Again, just pay attention to the face. Look how black that's got already in such a short period of time. Sorry, little buddy.
So some people hide them or just find them?
Well, it's another one of these cool stories. They found him sitting on the wall, but they've got 2 pit bulls, and they found some blood lying around the yard, so they're not too sure if the pit bulls ate the mother or not.
Okay.
Yonds was the 11th little orphan to come in at 4 weeks old. As you heard earlier, was found alone on somebody's garden wall. We're not too sure if the dogs actually killed the mom. We picked her up at the same time as Cosimo, so if you do reference further back, you probably find Cosimo and Yonds both together and following the rehab program together. But in the last little clip, just have a look at the face again. You'll see how the face starts darkening as they're getting older and with their mom.
A girl.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Little Lottie was a very strange case. Her mother was actually bitten by a snake, and she seemed to have brought her baby over to some people's house, really whether it was to look after it or they knew they were caring people. There were somebody that actually liked animals and brought up bush babies before. And she actually decided to go there where she passed away with her little one, and they managed to look after it and get in contact with us. So you can already see the little face. This is at about 3 months old, and the blackening around the nose and everything like this, so you can see she's getting older. I'm not too sure if there's little Cosimo that went past underneath her, but yeah, already out in the troop, eating some food and doing very well, and that's after 3 months. 7 months and the face is almost completely black, little teeth are out and ready to bite as sore as possible. And again, this is a reason why I'm emphasizing they do not make good pets. They mature very, very quickly, and you've got a very, very short time. Little Claudette Marie, she was the 13th orphan to arrive. If you remember, her mother was shot, and the bullet must have gone and grazed her little arm, but she was lucky to survive and come through to the foundation. But she isn't with her own little antics.
Claudette Marie. She's with Maggie May. So we've got a Claudette out with Mrs. Gold, which I just missed.
So it's remarkable what these little ones have actually gone through, and the different stages they go through to get their moms. But finally they get out there, they've got a mom that loves them, and they start living as normal life as possible. little Zebulon, the 14th little orphan to arrive. And you can see how quickly the changes are. This is almost about 7 months later. You can actually see how much bigger he is. The color in the face and everything like this, getting a lot more mature, more dependent, doesn't want to be holding on to moms and everything. And at the final picture, you'll actually see the little face is completely black. And at this stage is when, as I say, they start maturing and start biting and causing problems and things like this that you have to worry about. In the first couple of months, they're all cute and everything, but they want their independence from the ages of 4 or 5 months of age, and that's when they start biting other members of the family. So they're really and truly not a suitable pet. Little Chaim, the one with the hard name to produce, little orphan number 15, also found a load on the road. Mother, I think, was hit by a car. We're not 100% certain, but it just seems like the period of time that these little ones are coming in quite rapidly, and we're already starting to get worried at this stage with number 15. But again, trying to give them all the best moments that we can and the best chance. Some wonderful people working with them. And it's just great to see how quickly they sort of got integrated and out there and managed to get these guys moms and foster moms and back out into the troop.
Sachi with
Here is sweet little Yolanda. She had a couple of seizures the other day. When was it? 2 days ago. It came from a car crash. So she was hit by a car. Her mom was hit by a car as well, and her mom unfortunately passed away. So little Yolanda was struggling with concussion, and after the concussion she had a day with seizures. Now it's 2 days after that.
So little Yolanda, the 16th little one to arrive, and of course this one was in a little bit more of a serious condition, suffering with concussion, basically fractures on her right arm and her leg dislocated. So she really went through a little bit of a tough time in the initial stages, and of course then we're still going to do that when she realizes that she's lost her mom, when she sort of comes out of the concussion. That's a whole second stage she's got to go through, but as you can see, she did very, very well, and soon found her foster mom and joined the troop like the rest of them, and started doing very, very well.
Yolanda. Hello. So I'm showing her a mirror. She's trying to feel the baby behind her. Who is it? Who is it? There's nobody behind that.
So we're in Scrow here this morning. This is little Yolanda, who's come a long, long way.
So even with integrations, we can have little mishaps, and of course here Yolanda was bitten by a Paco. So it's exactly the same as what would happen out in the wild. These little ones stand just as much chance. There is no difference. There's sometimes not much interference that we can do. They have to find their place. They have to be put into the position by the rest of the troop, and sometimes we do have to accept that they are going to get injured and bitten. It's just part of the life of these monkeys, unfortunately, but this is what their growing pains about, and makes them good leaders later on in their lives. Thank you all for watching this episode. We are preparing everything, getting ready for this next season. It is getting upon us quite rapidly. So we've got a lot of work to get ourselves prepared for the new little orphans that are arriving. Make sure all our equipment and that we've got enough people to look after them. So I hope you're enjoying these updates in the interim. And look out for the next one next week. Thank you.